Go forth and set the world on fire. Quoted by St. Ignatius of Loyola. Respected Principal, Reverend Father Cyril Menezes, Chief Guest, Reverend Father Prashant D'Souza, Vice Principals, Reverend Father Felix Anand and Mrs. Savita, staff members, parents, and my dear Josephites. On behalf of the management, I, Mrs. Suprita,
I, Mr. Vinod,
cordially welcome you all to this auspicious occasion of the inauguration of the Ignatian Year and Prerana 2021.
ಸಂತ ಇಗ್ನೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಲೊಯೋಲಾರವರು ಯೇಸು ಸಭೆಯ ಸ್ಥಾಪಕರು. ಸಂತ ಇಗ್ನೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಲೊಯೋಲಾರವರ ಜೀವನ ಆಚರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಪರಿಗಣಿಸಿ 2021ನೇ ವರ್ಷವನ್ನು ಇಗ್ನೇಷಿಯನ್ ವರ್ಷವಾಗಿ ಸಂಭ್ರಮಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಪ್ರತಿಭೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊರತರಲು ಪ್ರೇರಣಾ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕಲ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಸಂತ ಜೋಸೆಫರ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಪ್ರೌಢಶಾಲೆಯ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಈ ಸುದಿನವನ್ನು ಇಗ್ನೇಷಿಯನ್ ವರ್ಷ ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರೇರಣಾ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆಗಳನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಇಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕುಮಾರಿ ಅರ್ಚನಾರವರು.
Let's bow our heads and place ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Lord, we stand before you in humble prayer before we start with this program. We realize that without your blessings, we would not be able to succeed with the plans we have for this activity. Bestow your grace and divine wisdom to all of us present, so we would and love each other great of your name. Lord, teach us to be generous, to serve you as you deserve, to give and not to count the cost, to fight and not to heal the wounds, to toil and not to seek for rest, to labor and not to look for any reward, save that of knowing that I do your holy will. Bless people around the globe that they may enjoy peace and the goodness of your love. May the various activities related to this event be a success through your intervention. We ask all this through Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Archana, for the meaningful prayer. I now request Reverend Father Felix Anand to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to you all. Respected dignitaries, Reverend Father Cyril Menezes, the headmaster in Joseph's Indian High School, the chief guest, Reverend Father Prashant Wesley, Director, Prerana Ignatian Spirituality Center, Bangalore, fellow faculty members, parents, and amicable students, friends. During this year, the Society of Jesus worldwide and the entire Ignatian family celebrate the 500 years anniversary of St. Ignatius' conversion in 1521. Our world faces new challenges today. COVID-19 alone has shattered our normal ways of life. We need faith to see realities around anew. The conversion of St. Ignatius was not completed instantly following his fall in Pamplona. This incident, however, set a new course for his life. It turned his life upside down and forced him into self-examination. Out of this spiritual awakening, Ignatius had a burning desire for holiness and a zeal to do great things for God, which ultimately led him to a lengthy process of surrendering self-love and self-glory. Today we are gathered virtually to inaugurate the Ignatian year, who is our role model and also Prerana in our school. First and foremost, I extend cordial welcome to our chief guest, Reverend Father Prashant Wesley, who is a great leader and who has a great love for the welfare of the downtrodden. We are happy to have a true son of St. Ignatius amidst us. Warm welcome, dear Father. I also welcome Reverend Father Cyril Meneges, the headmaster, Mrs. Savita, the vice principal, Mrs. Flora and Miss Nirma, the coordinators of Prerana and also Ignatian year, our teaching fraternity, parents, and my dear students. I am sure the Ignatian year and Prerana will make all of us imbibe the qualities of St. Ignatius in us and make our society a better place. Once again, hearty welcome to you all. Stay with us and enjoy the program. Thank you.
ಈ ದಿನದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಪ್ರಾಮುಖ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸಿದ ವಂದನೆಯ ಫಾದರ್ ಫೆಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆನಂದ್ರವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಈ ದಿನದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಪ್ರಾಮುಖ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಗ್ನೇಷಿಯನ್ ವರ್ಷದ ಸಂಯೋಜಕಿ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಫ್ಲೋರಾ ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರೇರಣಾ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆಗಳ ಸಂಯೋಜಕಿ ನಿರ್ಮಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ರವರು.
Honorable dignitaries, dear members of the staff, and my dear Josephites. This year, we are all privileged to be celebrating the 500th anniversary of the conversion of Saint Ignatius of Loyola. It is 500 years since the cannonball struck the soldier, Inigo Loyola, shattering his legs. If it had not been for that painful, life-altering wound, Inigo would never have encountered Christ and the saints. Never would have he re-evaluated his life and committed himself to God's work. That cannonball moment led Ignatius to see all things new in God. Dear Josephites, Corona or COVID-19 is the cannonball moment in our lives. All of us thought that we knew our future. We thought we knew what was coming. But everything got altered in a jiffy. You would surely agree with me when I say that this period has enabled us to see the world around us with a new perspective. We too can now re-evaluate our lives and try to emulate the noble values lived by Saint Ignatius, the founder of the Society of Jesus. The activities conducted through the year will help us to do so, all for the greater glory of God. Looking forward to your active participation, I request the coordinator of the Prerana committee, Ms. Nirma, to continue. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God. Is it an apt quotation for Prerana 21-22? Prerana is a cultural event organized every year at St. Joseph's Indian High School, giving a great platform for every Josephite to exhibit their hidden talents. In this regard, various intramural competitions are conducted for the students to participate enthusiastically with a competitive spirit. In view of Prerana 21-22, the ever active committee of the staff have planned and scheduled various events for the entire academic year in collaboration with Ignatian Year Committee. To begin with, we have 3 competitions for this month. We would like each one of you to play an active role in the competitions. Dear students, follow the motto of our school, faith and toil. Let participate in all the event enthusiastically, having faith in yourself and toiling hard to meet our goals. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Flora and Ms. Nilma, for sharing the significance of the event. I request Mr. Amrit Raj and Mr. Praveen to proceed with the inaugural presentation.
Oh, 1 minute, sorry for the interruption.
ಸಂತ ಇಗ್ನೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಲೊಯೋಲಾರವರ ಭಾವಚಿತ್ರ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರೇರಣಾ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆಗಳ ಚಿತ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಕ್ರಿಯಾತ್ಮಕವಾಗಿ ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕತೆಯ ಮೂಲಕ ಪ್ರಚುರಪಡಿಸಿದ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಾದ ಅಮೃತ್ ಸರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರವೀಣ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು. ಈಗ ಇಂದಿನ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾದ ವಂದನೀಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ವೆಸ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸೋಜಾರವರ ಪರಿಚಯವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಲು ಇಚ್ಛಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್ಯದ ಯೇಸು ಸಭೆಯ ಯುವ ಯಾಜಕರು, ನುರಿತ ಗಣಿತಜ್ಞರು, ಸಂತ ಇಗ್ನೇಷಿಯಸ್ ರವರ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕತೆಯ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವ ಇತರ ಯುವ ಯಾಜಕರ ಉಸ್ತುವಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ವಂದನೀಯ ಫಾದರ್ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ವೆಸ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸೋಜಾರವರು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕೆಂದು ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇನೆ.
Can you see me?
Yes.
And
Yes, Father, we can see and hear you.
yeah. Dear Father Cyril Menages, the principal of St. Joseph's Indian High School, Father Felix, as well as the vice principal, also Mrs. Flora, coordinator of Ignatian Year Committee, Miss Nirma D'Souza, coordinator of Prerana 2021-22, all the staff and students of St. Joseph's Indian High School, a very good afternoon to you. I thank Father Cyril for inviting me to be the chief guest of today's function, and I feel very happy and privileged to be part of this celebration. At the outset, let me wish each one of you a great and exciting as well as a memorable year ahead, especially Ignatian year as well as Prerana 2021-22. I am given the pleasant task of speaking to you about the Ignatian year as well as Prerana 2021-22. Let me focus my thoughts basically on three questions. The three questions are what, why, and how of celebrating the Ignatian year as well as Prerana 2021-22. What and why of Ignatian year? We all have heard in the introduction what is Ignatian year. Starting from May 20th, 2021 to July 31st, 2022 is called as Ignatian year. Why Ignatian year is celebrated? It is to mark the 500th anniversary or the 5th centenary of the injury that took place in the life of Saint Ignatius at Pamplona. Every year on 31st of July, we hear the story of Saint Ignatius and what Saint Ignatius went through at the Pamplona citadel is that his right leg was wounded. In fact, it was injured and shattered, so that he had to spend almost 6 to 9 months at Loyola Castle. That's where a new journey in the life of Ignatius begins. In short, Ignatius the soldier becomes a saint, Saint Ignatius. Also, Ignatius the knight becomes Ignatius the pilgrim. This is why we are celebrating the Ignatian year. Before coming to how of celebrating the Ignatian year, I would like to briefly mention to you the what, why, and how of Prerana 2021-22. Already in the introduction it is told to you. Let me also once again briefly mention to you what and why and how of Prerana 2021-22. Prerana 2021-22 is a platform given to all students at St. Joseph's Indian High School in order to discover your treasure trove, which is filled with talents, with your strengths, with qualities and virtues. I also would like to add with not only with qualities, with talents, but also it is a time for you to discover your limitations, which will help you to grow into a well-balanced personality. And how you are going to celebrate this Prerana, especially as it is said, every month there is a theme, and based on these themes, several activities and competitions are conducted and organized. It is a time for you to discover your true self by participating in these competitions. Let me right now wish you all the very best, especially the students, as you partake. It may be an opportunity for you to discover who you are and in turn may grow into a well-balanced personality. Let me come to you in answering the very important question, that is how to celebrate the Ignatian year. All of us need to focus on the theme of the Ignatian year in order to celebrate this year in a better manner. The theme or the motto of Ignatian year is to see all things new in Christ. I would like to rephrase this theme or motto in a different manner, as there are many non-Christians here. To see all things new in God. What does this mean? Seeing all things new in God. It would mean that I see myself, my family members, in your case, you as your family members, your friends, your teachers, your well-wishers, people in and around your neighborhood, in the city, or people all world over, and at the same time see the entire creation with the eyes, that means with the mind and heart of God. This is where I would request you or call upon each of you to make this as a mantra. So the mantra would be, dear God, help me to see all things as you would see them. I repeat, let this be a mantra and attitude all throughout this year, wherein you should be able to say, dear God, help me to see all things as you would see them. As we are focusing on the motto of the Ignatian year, one of the words that stands out in the motto is to see. What does this see means? Let me tell you a simple story which I read from one of Father Tony de Mello's books. The story is about a journalist who travels to a forest place wherein a well-known Guruji was there, a master. He goes to this Guruji or the master and tells him, people say that you are a genius. Are you? He asks him. Then this master tells him, you might say so. Then this journalist asks him, and what makes you a genius? Then this Guruji tells him, the ability to see makes one genius. Ability to see, what do you mean by that? The question is asked by the journalist. Then the master tells him, the ability to see, that is, to see a butterfly in a caterpillar, to see an eagle in a egg, similarly to see a saint in a sinner. This is nothing but seeing. Whoever sees this is a genius in love. Whoever is able to see in love what specially becomes a genius. This is what the master tells the journalist. So this is where we need to focus on the word see in order to celebrate the Ignatian year in a better way. That's where we need to see people not just by looking at them, by looking at their external appearance, but we need to look at people by seeing their hearts and minds. Let me focus once again here on the life of Ignatius. Just I would be focusing from the autobiography of St. Ignatius, two particular numbers. Number 1 of the autobiography, where Ignatius says about himself, up to the age of 26, Ignatius was a man given to the pleasures of the world. And what he enjoyed the most was exercise with arms, having a great and foolish desire to win fame. What sort of Ignatius we see in the number 1 of the autobiography of Ignatius? He was a totally self-centered person. He was in a way selfish person. He always thought about himself. I, me and myself. This sort of a person we see in the person of Ignatius. When we come to autobiography number 99, towards the end of his life, it is said he had grown in devotion. That is, ease in finding God. He wished to find God in all things, and this is where we see he was becoming a God and other-centered person. So seeing is nothing but journeying. Seeing is nothing but a conversion or a transformative experience in our life, which makes us from self-centered persons to God-centered persons, from self-centeredness to other-centered persons. This has to happen in our lives, especially as we celebrate the Ignatian year this year. I would like to concretely highlight to you what does this seeing means in the life of a student. As for Ignatius, it was from self-centered life to other-centered life. That means that should be also has to happen in the life of a student. So for a student, for a Josephite, what does seeing means? As a student, for you, it is learning. Learning, I need to distinguish from studying. Studying for exam's sake is not to be part of your life, but you need to learn for life. Here, learning will take place not only reading the subject matter, but taking part in every activity that your institution conducts, whether it is in and through the platform of Prerana, or there are games, there are cultural activities. Your institution focuses on all-round development. This is where you need to be integrated persons. That's where learning happens, and as a process, you will start seeing things in a new way, from a new perspective. Secondly, seeing also means a journey into yourself, into finding out who you are. Journey has to happen in your life, from mere studies to learning for life, from seeking information to formation, then into transformation. This is what happened in the life of Ignatius, in the lives of great people. You take whoever it is, all persons, those who are great today, who are well known and remembered, it is just because they saw things differently. Let that seeing happen to you in your lives, especially as you celebrate the Ignatian year as well as Prerana 2021-22. I call upon each one of you, you become a person who sees things differently, and in order to see things differently, you become a person who journeys not only from now on but all through your life. With these words, I would like to wish you once again a great and exciting year ahead, and I thank especially Father Cyril Menages, the principal, and all of you, dear staff and the students, for giving me this opportunity to be part of this celebration. Thank you and wish you good luck.
Thank you, Father. I now request our principal to address the gathering.
Good afternoon, dear friends. Thank you, Reverend Father Prashant Wesley D'Souza, for that inspiring message to our students. We are grateful to you. Dear students, as the chief guest, Father Prashant has already told you, this is a special year for us, Ignatian year. The significance of this year is known to you. I would like to highlight a few aspects of the life of Ignatius and want to summarize the significance of his life for us using two metaphors. One metaphor is fire in one's bones, and the second, cannonball movement. Now, how do I relate this to Saint Ignatius and also to our life? Now, the life of Saint Ignatius, especially the early life of Ignatius as the valiant soldier, is familiar to us. We also know the role he played in the Battle of Pamplona and how the cannonball suddenly struck him down, and how with that striking of the cannonball shattered his right leg and wounded the left. These are all the known facts of his life. How does Ignatius look at his life with this experience? Both his legs being damaged in the war, in the battle. And how did he react to it? That is a matter for us to ponder, because it has deep significance for us all. Now, striking of cannonball was a terrible tragedy in the life of Ignatius. His thoughts might have been better dead than disfigured and disabled, because it is not only the damage that is done to his legs, with that his dreams are broken, his ambitions are crumbled. And what is the response that Ignatius gave to this terrible tragedy that struck him in his life when he was badly wounded in the battle? Ignatius was not one to take things lying down. He would pull himself up from the blood-soaked mess and put together his broken dreams and crumbled ambitions. Now, with the wounding, the battle ended, while the flames at Pamplona died down. The fire in this noble person's bones remained burning as ever. Fire stopped, the flames stopped at Pamplona, but the fire in the heart of this person remained burning. Ignatius was not one to easily give up on himself. Yes, the cannonball was instrumental in bringing Ignatius to his knees, but only after a prolonged and painful struggle. Now, this prolonged and painful struggle indicates the fire in his bones. This did not die down. That led him to another battle of different nature. What is that another battle? Little did he know at the first fall or the failure of getting wounded in the Battle of Pamplona that he was ready for another battle wherein he would become a soft target under fire from unexpected quarters and he would succumb to it. The second battle that he had to wage was a spiritual adventure. The two books placed in his hands would take him on a spiritual adventure that was beyond his wildest imaginings. He landed on a strange new battlefield. He enlisted himself as a soldier of Christ. The fire in his bones flared up and it spread to his heart and mind and kindled a new fire. And this purified him from his natural passions and empty ponderings. Now, this is the beginning of the conversion story of Ignatius. The man who had taken a cannonball head on and had fallen flat on his face would now rise, determined to set the world on fire. So, dear boys, fire in one's bones is a metaphor for an experience that is bone deep and that generates such a burning passion that one feels the heat and is compelled to release it. This is the conversion that we desire in us. The passion to follow our dreams, to realize the dream we have set for ourselves. Now the question is, do we have fire in our bones? Are we ready to do something in a very energetic and passionate way? Like Ignatius, we should have a powerful sense of ambition and determination. It is an attitude, a presence, a fire in your belly or bone that will not allow you to settle down for something that is small or little. We refer his Pamplona episode metaphorically as cannonball moments. Now, what does this cannonball moment stand for? It is to describe the tragedies, the disasters, the accidents or hardships or the traumatic events that cause a diversion in or it cause a rerouting of one's life course. Cannonball moments are an inevitable part of living, but the choice is ours to make. We can let the cannonballs push us to new heights or flatten us to the ground. Choice is ours. Cannonball movements generally demand vital choices that can make us or that can break us. Ignatius decided to fight fire with fire. Fire cleanses, purifies, refines. The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire. And that is what we recognize in Saint Ignatius. Now, cannonball movement is not a very special to Ignatius. It is we ourselves go through such moments. We may not take part in the battles, but our life itself is a battle. And we come across these experiences, cannonball moments, the calamities or the tragedies. Now, how do we respond? As I said, these can propel us to new heights or flatten us to the ground. So the power of the body, heart, mind and spirit is immense, dear boys. Let the life of Ignatius serve as a continual trigger for a continual conversion. You have a big dream for your life. Do not let the hero in your heart perish in lonely frustrations for the life you deserved and never been able to reach. The world you desire can be won. The world you desire exists. The world you desire is real. It is possible. It is yours. Then what are the qualities that you require? Learn from the life of Ignatius the qualities of remarkable patience, perseverance, and positivity that made Ignatius pursue his dream. So, success and self-confidence go together, hand in hand. There was a Buddha in Siddhartha, a Vivekananda in Narendra, and a Gandhiji in Mohandas. You too find such a person hidden within you. We all have a spark of that greatness. Identify them. Prerana, the cultural fest, is designed to help you to discover that great self hidden within you. I wish that you joyously participate in all the activities that are organized through this cultural fest, Prerana. It is not just for participation, dear boys. As you participate, you get enriched by it. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಉದ್ದೇಶವನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಯ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾದ ವಂದನೀಯ ಫಾದರ್ ಸಿರಿಲ್ ಮಿನೇಜಸ್ ರವರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಹೃದಯಸ್ಪರ್ಶಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಆರಂಭವಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ವಂದಿಸಲು ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಯ ಉಪ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾದ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಸವಿತಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ರವರು.
Savita.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Good afternoon to everyone. Gratitude is the fairest blossom. Good afternoon, everyone. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. It gives me immense joy to propose vote of thanks on behalf of the management, the faculty of St. Joseph's Indian High School. Every moment in our life is an experience. The external fades away and the internal lingers and echoes in the most depth of our hearts. Let us rejoice and thank the Almighty, for His ways are marvelous and magical. We would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to you, dear Reverend Father Prashant D'Souza, the chief guest of today's program, for the formal inauguration of the Ignatian year and Prerana 2021. Thank you, Father, for enriching us with your insightful message and for your valuable presence. Our hearts are stronger than our wounds. The words of Henry Nouwen. Our principal, Reverend Father Cyril Menezes, strongly believes in the quote and has been a driving force in all our activities. You have paved the way for us to rekindle the spark of love and service to the needy in the true spirit of Ignatian values for the greater glory of God. Thank you, dear Father. I thank in a special way our beloved Vice Principal, Reverend Father Felix Anand, for your warm welcome. An event to be planned for the entire year requires a lot of effort, dedication, and commitment in collaboration and coordination. I take this opportunity to acknowledge and appreciate the organizing committee coordinated by Mrs. Flora and Ms. Nirma for their meticulous planning and providing the significance of the event. A special word of appreciation and thanks to Mr. Amrut Raj and Mr. Praveen for their creative presentation of the formal inaugural ceremony. It was unique and splendid. I also thank Mrs. Suprita and Mr. Vinod for the effective comparing of the virtual ceremony and Ms. Archana for invoking God's blessings through prayer. Love includes everyone and excludes none. Thank you, dear staff, for your cooperation, support, collaboration, and understanding which we receive always. I'm proud to say that we work as a team with the family spirit. Dear parents and students, we are immensely happy to have you witnessing the ceremony through the virtual platform. Thank you for being present, and we look forward to your active participation and involvement in a series of events lined up for you for the entire year. I would like to end with a reflection. It took a cannonball to the legs to shatter Ignatius' false images of himself. What does it take for us? Let us reflect. Thank you. Have a pleasant afternoon.
Thank you, Mrs. Savita, for your words of gratitude.
ಒಲುಮೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಂದ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ಪಡೆಯುವುದು ಅದ್ಭುತ, ಆದರೆ ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗುವುದು ಗೌರವ. ನಾಳೆ ನಾಳೆ ಅಂತ ಅದೆಷ್ಟೋ ನಾಳೆಗಳು ಮುಂದೂಡುವೆ, ಹಿಂದೆ ಈಗಲೇ ಎದ್ದು ಮುನ್ನಡೆ, ಬದಲಾಗುವುದು ನಿನ್ನ ಭವಿಷ್ಯದ ನಡಿಗೆ.
Aim for the moon. Even if you miss, you will land among the stars. Dear students, we look forward to your enthusiastic participation and best wishes for the upcoming events. Thank you. Have a good day.
Now I request all the participants to turn on your cameras so we can have one group picture. I request all the